over direct jobs, over 2,000 construction workers, men and women who are working in construction. And it's puzzling. The project now is probably up to 30% complete. It would be completely insane to stop this project at this point in time.
Agreed. And I look at what the requirements are in order for this to hit the floor, and then I look at the timelines that are required. And even if the 10% is met, it's still not going to be heard until late into 2020 on the provincial government level, which is, another year and a half of construction. And from what I've heard this year and going into next spring is a big year for hands on deck.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But we have a strong tradition of activism in British Columbia, which is healthy. It's healthy to have a debate about issues, whether they're large projects or tax measures or other decisions that government makes. But at some point in time, the debate has to end.
Yeah.
And we have to move forward once we've made a decision. This project was reviewed extensively. It was reviewed not only under the BC Liberal government, but the NDP government did another review when they were elected and over the past year. And after a 6-month review, they decided that the project needs to move forward. So we now have to move forward. And the challenge with all of these debates is that it does send a signal to investors outside of British Columbia that you can't get projects approved and built in this project and that in this province. And that's troubling, because we need to have a province that says the process means something.
Agreed.
Laws mean something.
Yeah, agreed.
And
especially
once you have your permits, you can build your project.
And especially as we're looking towards a Canada LNG final investment decision, in the next month or 2 months or whenever that rolls out, it's the same sort of idea. You've got some very, very large international companies looking at spending billions of dollars in BC. Now the question becomes is, hey, you know what? Even if we have an approval and we start our project, are we going to get stopped? Is something going to get in the way, as we've seen now with Site C and with all these other projects and even with PR, right? Is the government open to listening to what the people actually want?
Yeah, and it is it's very problematic. We've seen the energy sector in Canada, frankly, is on its knees. It's been it's vilified at every turn, and you've had nearly every major international energy company has sold its assets in Alberta. And so Alberta is becoming more or less a Canadian energy play because investors have said, you know what, you can't get a pipeline built, so we're not going to invest in harnessing the asset because we can't ship it out of Alberta.
Yeah. And
so Energy East was canceled. Keystone was delayed and canceled. And now I don't know if it will go ahead, even though the new administration in the U.S. has talked positively about it.
I think they did until these trade war talks came. We're going to go to a quick commercial, Chris, and for our listeners, and we'll get right back into this here in a minute.
The Peace River Regional District provides government services in the rural areas of the BC Peace and works with the communities that are within its boundaries on regional issues. Let's learn more about the PRRD with Who Knew, the Peace River Regional District.
In rural areas, the province collects property taxes within municipal or town boundaries. Property taxes are paid to the municipality. The province and municipalities then transfer funds to the regional districts to cover the costs of the services which are approved by the voters to provide. Who knew? To learn more about the Peace River Regional District, visit their website at prrd.bc.ca.
It's all up to you.
You talking to me?
What should we play next? Call 250-787-2222 or text 250-800-2360. Brought to you by Wendy's.
A chocolate frosty or a vanilla frosty? That's one of summer's toughest questions. But when it's only 99 cents, why not try both? The 99-cent Frosty, only at Wendy's.
School District 60 wants you to know you are your child's first and best teacher. You can help your child grow strong roots for learning both in and out of school. Building with your child means build with blocks, Lego, sticks, or rocks to create structures and patterns. Build together and talk about what you are building. Create art. Why? Building with your child helps your child to develop fine motor skills, math and science knowledge, and it encourages storytelling and artistic expression. For more info, go to familyfriendlycommunity.ca or earlylearning.pm.bc.ca.
Rosebrook Flooring is turning 50 and they want to celebrate with you. For the month of July, we're having an inventory blowout sale. Select tile, laminate, and carpet starting at only $1 per square foot. 5mm vinyl plank for just $3.39 per square foot. And a lot more. Only while quantities last, so hurry down to Rosebrook Flooring on 101st Avenue, your flooring experts in Fort St. John since 1968.
I bet you're wondering what you're gonna have for dinner. Getting a great meal to feed the whole family is as simple as a one-stop shop to M&M Food Market on your way home from work. Stop in and grab a large lasagna for $13.49, save $3.50, with a shrimp platter for $18.99 and save $2. And don't forget dessert, slice and serve desserts for $13.99. Don't head home empty-handed. Stop by M&M Food Market in the Totem Mall. Your home for great variety and great taste, with gluten-free options available. M&M Food Market. Discover the taste of M&M.
The big day's coming up fast, eh?
So fast. There's still so much to do. I just went to Veronica's Closet.
Nice.
I was just looking at tanning packages and swimsuits for our honeymoon. And some lingerie for the wedding night.
Oh, thanks for the reminder. I haven't got mine yet. Find everything you need for the wedding night and honeymoon, plus lots of novelty items for the bachelor and bachelorette parties at Veronica's Closet, your all-grown-up store on 93rd Avenue and at veronicascloset.ca.
Watch this show live on Facebook or download the podcast at Energeticcity.ca. This is Trev Talks with Trevor Bolin.
Welcome back to the show. We are still joined by Chris Gardner of the Independent Contractors and Business Association. Just before we took a commercial break there, we were talking about the projects that have got canceled. We were talking about, the trade war maybe having an effect on Keystone, which hopefully it doesn't. But Chris, we were talking a little bit about what you guys do and who you are. Do you want to give us a minute? Just tell us real quick here in 30 seconds, kind of who you represent, how large you are, and why people need to get involved and follow you guys on Facebook.
Sure. ICBA, we have over 2,000 members and clients. We represent the construction sector in British Columbia. Today, about 250,000 men and women woke up, went to a job site, generating about 10% of our economy. And so we talk a lot about issues that not only impact the construction sector directly, but issues that are important to our overall economy. The regulatory framework that businesses and investors face every day, the tax regime, and all of this works together to generate our long-term prosperity. And we have a Facebook page, which if you are a supporter of free enterprise, certainly visit our Facebook page. We've got 26,000 followers. We're posting on it every day, and we're talking about issues that are important to building a stronger province. And right now, we're very concerned with what we're seeing coming out of both Victoria and Ottawa in terms of what it means for creating investment and jobs, attracting talent to British Columbia, and building a stronger future.
And I like that. I think what I love about your guys' page and what I love about the message that you spread is that you are in BC. So often we see all these Facebook pages or these posts or fake news that's always against projects or bringing up the bad side of things, but they're coming from outside of our country and literally, as far away as Russia, they say. But you guys are right here in BC. You're part of it. You're in the mix. So appreciate you being on the show because it gives people an idea of what's going on. We're talking there on the break about the gas tax hike right now that's going on, 1.5 cents per liter, which even in Fort St. John we feel that at the pump. So what happens down there and what you guys are fighting for in order to not only get awareness but to get people involved hits us at home pretty hard up here in Fort St. John.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, the province had given the mayors of Metro Vancouver authority to increase gas taxes, and within 24 hours, this was a new power they gave them. Within 24 hours, the mayors acted to increase gas taxes by 1.5 cents a liter. And what's interesting is that taxes to politicians, it's like they're on crack, right? Yeah. It's just they can't resist the temptation to create new programs and raise taxes and spend our money. So, the new government will say that they balance the budget, but what's missed in that message is that they have passed measures that are generating an additional $5.5 billion in taxes over the past year. And the list of new tax measures is long: education tax, the so-called education tax, the so-called speculation tax, an education tax, an increase in corporate income tax, an increase in personal tax, and you go down the list. They've raised $5.5 billion in new taxes, and they spent every single dollar.
Yeah.
And then they say the budget's balanced, and they should be proud about that. And it's hurting our economy.
It's hurting our families.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. You will not tax housing affordability and create cheaper houses by increasing the taxes on the product. You have to increase supply. It's basic economics.
Yeah, but they and I've said this before, and I'll probably say it until the day I die. But the one thing government shouldn't get involved in is housing, is free enterprise. Stop trying to control something by making it more difficult. You know what? You want to make it easier. Like you said, it's supply and demand when it comes to the housing market. And I mean, fortunately, John has seen that when we're in boom times, and you've got one family trying to find something, or anybody trying to find something. Open it up a little bit, make it a little bit easier to attain, and you're going to change the fundamentals of that industry without taxing it.
In many cities and municipalities, it takes as long to get a project approved and permitted as it does to build it, and that's ridiculous. And then the other thing we face is there is an element on the one hand, you have communities saying we need more affordable housing, but when you propose a new condo development or a townhome complex or a new senior center, oftentimes people in that neighborhood, say, no, not in my neighborhood. I don't want the neighborhood to change. I want to stay the same. I don't want any more traffic. I don't want any more noise. And then the next day they'll say, oh, we're concerned about the price of housing because my kids can't find a house.
Yeah.
So we've got some work to do in terms of educating folks about creating greater density in a number of urban centers, and also ensuring that city councils and city halls are more responsive to the economic pressures that investors face. And you can't tie up a development in approvals and permitting for year after year after year and expect to have enough housing supply to meet demand.
Agreed. Awesome, Chris. Well, it's been a blast. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out what Chris and the group are doing, find them on Facebook, Independent Contractors and Business Association of BC. Follow their page, see what's going on, and get involved in the fight against these taxes and these changes that are affecting us here in the north, and as well as you guys in the south. I appreciate it, Chris. We will talk to you real soon.
Great. Perfect. Thanks
very
much.
a lot. You bet. Coming up next, we've got Sterling Roberts. As mentioned on the Facebook page, Sterling was a young man that was raised in Fort St. John and moved away, and he's recently invented a new product, and we're going to check in with him on what that product is and how this climb to being an inventor has happened. So check in with us just after this short break.
If you're planning on hitting a few garage sales in town this weekend, add Home Hardware to your list. Today and tomorrow is Home Hardware's annual garage sale from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days. Enjoy a barbecue put on by Neat and check out lots of great deals from every department. Home decor, tools, gardening, Home Hardware has all kinds of items marked down. The annual garage sale, today and tomorrow from 10 to 5 at Home Hardware. See them on Facebook or visit homehardware.ca. Home Hardware Building Center, here's how. Tires are one of the most important and least exciting purchases you will ever make. No one has ever let out a whoop, performed an end zone dance, and then smooched a stranger after buying tires. No one. But when you need tires, you need OK Tire. Right now, switch to Como Tires. Como Solus is specifically engineered for all seasons all across Canada with road hazard protection. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires. For Como Tires, visit us at OK Tire today at 10808 100th Ave.
If you're starting a new job and requires safety tickets, PPE, or maybe some new work clothes, Employment Connections would love to help. With the Employment Connections Job Start program, they may be able to help fund these items for you. To find out if you're eligible for the Job Start program, stop by the office, give them a call at 250-787-0024, or visit employmentconnections.bc.ca for more information. The Employment Program of British Columbia is funded by the Government of Canada and the Province of British Columbia. Serenity, tranquility, peace. The HB Health and Body Wellness Spa is known for providing all of the above, and they're looking for amazing new team members who can do the same. The HB Health and Body Wellness Spa is seeking a certified esthetician and massage technician to join their energetic team. If you think you're the right fit, drop your resume off at the Hairbin and ask to speak with Lorraine or Marnie. The the HB Health and Body Wellness Spa, located in the Northgate Mall. Voted Best Spa and Best Estheticians in the 2017 People's Choice Awards.
Locally owned and operated with over 19 years of experience, Marcy's Bright Ideas offers personal customer service with a great selection of home decor, lighting, and more in-store and online. Marcy's Bright Ideas on 100th, Facebook, and at marcysbrightideas.net. It's more than just lighting. This Sports Booster is brought to you by Resilient Towing. For all your towing needs, call 24/7 Resilient Towing, 250-793-7139, because Resilient Towing cares about your safety on the road.
Now, a Sports Boosters update.
The BC Peace Country River Rats present the 2018 Poker Rally on July 13th and 14th. Catch an evening at the new pavilion for popcorn and a movie on July 13th. Pre-registration is on Friday night, 7 to 9 p.m. Then check out the pancake breakfast at Boat Launch July 14th from 8 to 11 a.m. Registration is at 9 a.m. and launch is at 10. Lunch is provided at Happy Hour Corner and last card is at 5 p.m. Dinner at the new pavilion is at 6 p.m. and is $25 a ticket. Kids 10 and under eat free. For info, go to peacecountryriverrats.ca.
Send us your sports info, sports@moosefm.ca, or by fax, 263-9749. Sports Boosters on Moose FM.
Pick out the perfect piece at Walker Greenhouses. A new shipment of trees and shrubs have arrived, and flowers and hanging baskets are still in fantastic condition. Plus, everything is 20% off. Walker Greenhouses, open 7 days a week on Highway 29 towards Hudson's Hope and on Facebook.
Ryerson Contracting, proud to be a sponsor of local sports. Ryerson Contracting, specialists in pipeline and facility construction, turnarounds, and maintenance. Let Ryerson Contracting's combination of quality personnel and equipment complete your next job with safety and integrity. Call 785-0515.
Our community first. This is Trev Talks with your host, Trevor Bolin.
All right, folks, thanks for sticking with us. We are going on to our second guest. As mentioned, Sterling Roberts. Sterling has invented the Q-Plug. The Q-Plug is a versatile adapter onto a block heater cord for your car that prevents you from doing damage. Sterling, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So we were talking a little bit there just off air as we were getting ready. You're from Fort St. John. I mean, you lived a large part of your life in Fort St. John. You are now living in Prince George, and you've invented this Q-Plug. Tell us kind of what that process has been like. How long ago did you have this idea?
Well, I had this idea quite a long time ago, probably in, I think, 2004, when I kind of had the first thought when I noticed the problem. So I've done this, myself, my mother, everyone I've kind of knows has at least once in their lifetime forgotten and driven away. And it's just the way life is. And it wasn't until, so I spent a lot of time on the highway for my current job, and a couple of times a year I see someone dragging an extension cord. Probably 2004-ish, I went, really? Like why is that a thing? Isn't there something to stop that? And I looked and I couldn't find it. But I put it in a notebook, and I just kept hitting little walls, and so I would just kind of sit it back for a bit and then come back to it now and then. And it wasn't until 2014 that I started seriously kind of pursuing it, where I kind of found a design that I liked that wasn't just a loose standard cord, and started running from it from there.
I think that's brilliant. So for those of people that I mean, online right now, if you're following us online, we've got videos posted and we've got photos posted of what this is, but it's virtually two ends that are magnetized together in order to connect your block heater to power and light up to show you that it's connected, and prevents you from driving away with it plugged in. So it prevents damage to your vehicle. It prevents damage to your home. Like you said, missing cords or lost cords. I found a lot of cords along the highway over the years. I mean, it's always a score when you're driving down the road and you find an extension cord, and you just saved yourself. Yeah, $25, right? I mean, it's brilliant. So you've got this off the ground right now. You're doing pre-sales, you're doing prelim stuff, so they can check you out either on your Facebook page or on Q-Plug, of course. And we're looking at. We were talking about this Kickstart. So people that are interested in it can pre-order them. They can actually even help get you started by selecting a package that gives them. I seen on there was packages with 10 Q-Plugs and 20 that companies can do as gifts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have up to 50 just kind of like consumer fleet stuff, and then I have like 100 and a 250 package that I'll brand for companies as well. So they'll get the branding on the product. So it's a gift, a little neat thing to make sure your guys are not damaging your fleet trucks and your crew trucks are all good. I just want to interrupt really quickly on the earlier there. It's not magnetic. It's actually just tension and a little bit of air pressure. There's nothing to clip. There's nothing to catch. There's no no electronics. There's no outside of. It's lit on both sides. One side so you can find it in the snow, and the other side so you can know it's working. But it's just tension. It's meant because it's not meant to be dragged behind like a lawnmower or anything like that. It's meant to be kind of on a stationary cord.
Yeah.
But
and so it is a plug on each side though. So there's you don't need to be an electrician. You don't need to wire anything. You can plug and play basically, as they say.
Exactly. It's not meant. You're not buying a new extension cord. You're not setting anything up. You plug one end, your block heater into one end, and your extension cord into the other, and it becomes your plug from then on.
Okay, beautiful. Now, one thing I am curious about: are we going to see you on? Are we going to see you out promoting this thing on shows like Dragon's Den or some of these Canadian networks that are for inventors? Because, like I said, you were gone from your past life and what you did. You are now an inventor. You are now selling your invention.
Yeah, I actually went and auditioned for Dragon's Den. Up here in Prince George when they were in the spring there.
Yeah,
I'm pre-sales, so they like to see sale numbers. Like I have a patent on it on the I got the universal rounded connector there. There's no wrong way to plug it in.
Yeah,
I've got a patent on that, but I'm pre-sales, so they want to see companies. They're looking to invest in things that are going to kind of already on the go.
Well, that's easy. I mean, anybody wants to do that, but how about you take a little bit of a risk like you have and put everything on the line to come up with something new that's needed? I think it's brilliant. I will certainly order one because it's not only going to save me extension cords, but just the ease of it and not fighting and pulling and I mean, we have the winters that this sort of thing is required. Adam and I were talking earlier about this, and we said, why is it taken 100 years for this idea to come out? Why were car manufacturers not in this? But you've been the one that has pulled this off. Yeah, and that's kind of the run, and the reason I'm doing the Kickstarter to some extent as well is to prove the market. So part of the problem that I run into, and it's great on one hand because I don't have any competition. But then you kind of talk to people and they go, well, is the reason this isn't out is because nobody's invented it or because nobody wants it? So it's this double-edged sword where I've got this wide open field to work with, but everyone's a little hesitant to take that kind of risk of going after something they just don't even know there's a market for. If I had a competitor of any sort, it'd be like, I could point to them and go, they sold 1 million units. Like mine is better in this way and I should be able to take a percentage of those sales. But I've got nothing like that. So there's nothing that's even similar to this on the product in North America? Yeah. So this is a sole exclusive product that has never been invented. Cars have been around since what I know. My family used to manufacture cars over in Ontario, and I mean they were manufacturing wagons and then cars, and I mean that's been going on since 1923. So from 1923 to 2018, one guy, you Sterling, have actually thought of this idea. That's phenomenal. And brought out. There was another company that did a crowdfunder a while ago, but they're a very different product from mine, and they've actually pursued more the electrical side of ththings. They're like magnetic, and it's all switched, and it's a whole other product. But they started with a Kickstarter for a plug-in, a block heater thing. But again, it's very different from mine, and I was kind of already most of the way through my product when I noticed that they were doing one as well. Yeah. So if people want to get involved and they want to see this be able to hit the shelves at your local hardware stores and your local auto stores, the biggest thing to do is check out Kickstarter, check out your site. From that point on, they can pre-buy, help you get this thing off the ground. And what kind of time frame are we looking at? Like I've seen something on there for the end of July. So if you can meet your targets for the end of July, will we see this on shelves coming this fall? Not necessarily in shelves, because getting it onto retailer shelves, it's kind of their buying process is the season before. Okay. But it'll be on my site, and it'll be in people's hands by this winter. I should be able to hit that without too much trouble, assuming I can meet my goals and get the Kickstarter successful allows me to kind of hit those next steps I need to get it into people's hands. I think it'd be a brilliant place if you were to get these on the shelves. And I mean, it takes a year to get onto that buying cycle, but gas stations. I would buy that from a gas station in a heartbeat because that's what I'm expecting to see in there, right? Yeah, exactly. You've driven off with your extension cord and you're stopping to grab some gas and you realize that you got your your cord's dragging behind you. Yeah, exactly. You're like, that's one of my interests too, is just get it wherever I can and hopefully I can find someone that'll buy it. They are, like I said, they're usually a season behind, so
in the summer, fall, they're buying for the winter.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've kind of already missed that, but I'll be selling on my website and getting it off to people.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to find out more, check out QPlug online. It is on Facebook, and then as well as Kickstarter.com. You can check out and follow along with Sterling's process so that we can get this on the shelves and have a hometown North boy become the inventor that you've aspired to be since 2014. Sterling, it was awesome having you. I wish you the best of luck, and let's keep in touch as this goes forward.
For sure. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right.
Awesome. That is a wrap-up of our second edition of Trev Talks, where we bring you nothing but local and community content to keep you in the know. So we will see you next week.
You've been listening to Trev Talks, a weekly talk show about Fort St. John and the North Peace. Legend says many years ago, pirates would sail the Peace River, plundering Fort St. John